There's a hidden truth sitting quietly in the background of our lives, a mathematical reality that completely dictates our financial futures. Today, we're exploring the hidden cost of lifestyle inflation. It's an undeniably powerful law of wealth geometry, but it's one that most of us completely misunderstand until it's far too late. Just imagine receiving a raise every single year for the next decade. Now, imagine feeling no richer at the end of it all. It's a pretty visceral frustration, isn't it? Millions of people spend their entire lives frantically climbing a corporate ladder, only to realize that it isn't actually leaning against a solid financial wall. We're looking at the mathematics of lifestyle inflation here. It's a fundamental reality that silently traps incredibly hardworking professionals. We're going to break down exactly how this mathematical trap actually works, and more importantly, how you can escape it to start building real, lasting wealth. We can call this phenomenon the invisible ceiling. You see, this barrier that keeps us from wealth, it isn't built by a lack of effort. It's actually built by how we fundamentally think about money. From a young age, we're taught to be consumers, long before we're ever taught to be owners. We end up viewing money simply as a tool to acquire more things, rather than what it really is, a tool to acquire freedom. The core psychological issue really boils down to this. We don't spend more because we need more. We spend more just because our income allows it. It's essentially a dopamine trap. We give ourselves this psychological permission to upgrade our lives the very second our bank account gets a little extra room. It makes every single day a biological war, instant gratification and modern consumption on one side, battling against the quiet reality of long-term wealth building on the other.
And that leads directly into the upgrade trap. Think about it. Almost every time you get a raise, it's immediately met with a new expense, a better car, a slightly bigger apartment, maybe a luxury purchase you've been eyeing. When you fall into this trap, you have to realize you aren't just buying things. You're literally eating the seeds of your future wealth before they've even had a chance to touch the soil.
All of this creates an exhausting, truly endless cycle, the invisible treadmill. Your income rises, but your lifestyle rises at the exact same pace. The gap between what you make and what you spend, it never actually grows. So you run faster, you put in more hours, but your actual financial freedom, it seems exactly where it was on day one. Let's think about two different people earning the exact same income. One constantly upgrades their lifestyle, stepping right onto that invisible treadmill. The other makes a deliberate choice to build assets. Now, from the outside, their lives probably look identical for the first 10 years. But mathematically, one is simply consuming their seeds, while the other is quietly planting a forest. There really is an absolute physics to wealth. Most of us are conditioned to believe you need a massive salary or maybe a huge inheritance to get ahead. But the real asset isn't actually money, it's time. Starting early with just a tiny seed mathematically defeats starting late with a massive sum. Compound interest is, quite simply, time multiplying itself. Time is always going to be the heaviest weight on the financial scale. When you map this out across a timeline, the growth is pretty agonizing at first. Decade 1 consists of what we call the invisible years. The growth feels totally insignificant, and honestly, this is where almost everyone throws in the towel. But if you hold on, the momentum radically shifts in Decade 2, and by Decade 3, you reach massive expansion. The real tragedy is that most people quit in the dark right before their wealth is set to explosively multiply. To truly grasp this kind of mathematical explosion, consider the number 42. If you were able to fold a standard piece of paper in half exactly 42 times, the thickness would literally reach the moon. Seriously, the math is just completely backloaded. Those first few folds feel painfully slow, but the final folds, they create results that the human brain actually struggles to comprehend. Because wealth is exponential. As human beings, we're biologically wired to think in straight lines, to think linearly. But wealth curves upward exponentially. So the true cost of a lifestyle upgrade isn't the physical price tag you pay today. It is the staggering, exponential loss of what that exact amount of money would have become 20 years from now. And that brings us to the true meaning of opportunity cost. It's the hidden future value of every single unnecessary expense. It's the physics of loss in action. Every single time you give in to that dopamine trap, you are literally trading massive future freedom, all for just a fleeting moment of present comfort. Wealth is not what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. It's the money you consciously hold on to so it actually has the opportunity to compound. Real wealth is the quiet accumulation of freedom. It's about having the discipline to avoid the upgrade trap entirely and simply giving time enough room to do all the heavy lifting. So, are you willing to wait through the invisible years, knowing that every single dollar you spend today has a massive future cost? Do you have the patience to sit in the dark while the math does its work? As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember that time rewards discipline. If you take away just one realization today, let it be this: every dollar I spend today has a future cost.